Support WrestleTalk!
Support each other. The Speaking Out movement on Twitter, a hashtag for many brave women, men and non-binary people to come forward with their experiences of sexual and physical abuse within the wrestling industry, has seen more allegations and consequences develop in the last 24 hours. Audio has resurfaced from 4 years ago of top AEW star and Inner Circle member Sammy Guevara talking about Sasha Banks in a podcast interview, saying when he was at WWE a couple of weeks prior to the recording, he wanted to just go rape that woman. Responding to the clip being shared on social media, Guevara posted an apology. "I've made stupid, inappropriate, and extremely offensive comments in my past. In my idiotic mind, I thought I was being funny in using words and terms that represent nothing but horror and pain. I am truly sorry for my hurtful words and actions, and I will never forgive myself." Guevara also publicly apologized directly to Banks herself. "She's an amazing person who didn't deserve to be the brunt of my offensive remarks. I spoke with her earlier and she helped me learn a gigantic lesson and I thank her for that. Once again, I'm sincerely sorry." Sasha then posted about their interaction on her Twitter. "Earlier, I spoke with Sammy. He apologized and we had an open discussion. We have to hold ourselves accountable for our actions and the words we say, and I hope this situation shows him that. I hope from this point on, in order for growth and change within our community to take place, we all can continue to have these conversations." Sasha's response to the situation has received much praise, including from Sammy's AEW colleagues FTR, with Dax Harwood posting, "My girl, my daughter's role model. I'm proud of her every day." While Cash Wheeler simply tweeted, "I heart Sasha." AEW then announced Sammy is suspended without pay until further notice. Sammy has agreed to undergo extensive sensitivity training and, upon completion, his future status within the company will be re-evaluated. During his suspension, his salary will be donated to the Women's Center of Jacksonville. In Impact Wrestling, the promotion has confirmed the releases of Joey Ryan and Dave Crist following multiple sexual assault allegations against both of them. Michael Elgin has also been suspended pending further investigation into his allegations too. As reported on Fightful Select, it seems Dave Crist was already on his way out of Impact due to significant backstage heat he acquired after injuring Rich Swann in January, for which he failed to apologize. This resulted in Crist not being allowed to change in the locker room with the rest of the talent. In relatively normal wrestling news, WWE Backstage is reportedly close to being cancelled. John Orand has reported in the Sports Business Journal that Fox Sports will be scaling back its production of WWE and boxing programming, claiming WWE Backstage will no longer be produced weekly. Mike Johnson of PW Insider has added that employees of the show were told that it was done in its current format, and the belief is the show is completely done beyond the outside chance that it could be used for special programming down the line. WWE Backstage had only debuted in November last year, lasting just over 7 months. The ratings were regularly below 100,000 viewers, even with the addition of CM Punk, which means Punk is out of his Fox contract. CM Punk to AEW confirmed. Now it's time for Monday Night Raw in about 5 minutes. And this wasn't just any Monday, it was
Championship Monday.
And when is that?
Monday.
And what's going to be on the line?
Championships. It's Championship Monday.
Thanks for your support on Patreon, the Wedding Crasher Brandon Vaughan.
Championship Monday!
Opened with WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, who was interrupted by Raw's latest roster member and Drew's own Dogs of War buddy, mid-card of evil flashbacks, Dolph Ziggler. Because AJ Styles was moved to SmackDown permanently when they needed him over more often than the cross-brand invitational limit of only 4 appearances a year rule allowed that has since been dropped. And in return, Dolph and his tag team partner Bobby Roode were traded to Raw like how SmackDown got Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross in exchange for Brock Lesnar last October. Whack bat. And because it's
Championship Monday!
we got a championship announcement! Drew booked himself versus Ziggler for Extreme Rules. Hopefully they can build an engaging storyline around that, because right now, that feels very mid-card. Nia Jax tried to do a sit-down promo next, but was interrupted by R-Truth, who suspected she could actually be Akira Tozawa in disguise. R-Truth then chased away the real Tozawa and some ninjas to be interrupted by the Omniflare. There is too much stuff happening right now. They had a brief pull-apart brawl where Charlotte hurt her arm, giving her an excuse to lose later on. The Street Profits hyped the end of their Anything You Can Do Better feud with the Viking Raiders by saying what good friends they are. While it has been nonsensical and often weird, this 2-month string of ridiculous skits have really made me invested in the Raiders and their relationship with Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, and thus this match. But Zelina Vega's there doing some foreshadowing evil villain smirking.
Championship Monday!
It was actually smartly structured around the story so far too, with each team pulling off their own cool moves like it really was the final round in their several month-long game of one-upmanship. Sadly, it was far too short, with the McMahon-Pritchard era reportedly only allowing sub-10-minute matches. The Profits retained, who were then attacked by Angel Garza and Andrade, which Vega later confirmed her gang of sexy men are reunited again for the next title feud. Asuka defended her Raw Women's title next against Charlotte in more
Championship Monday!
with the story all about protecting Flair in defeat, constantly selling her arm injury from Nia earlier on. It's a ring psychology decision that shows who WWE is really prioritizing. Despite Asuka being the babyface champion, who really needs a strong win right now, Charlotte took the majority of the match and only tapped because her injured arm was in the Asuka lock. This was also too short, and Nia attacked Flair backstage afterwards, presumably building a heel versus heel that WWE thinks is a face feud. And the only title change on
Championship Monday!
R-Truth was attacked by Bobby Lashley before his match, allowing Akira Tozawa to sneak a 24/7 title win. A ninja will win it off him before the end of the month. Natalya then declared herself a locker room leader backstage, to then come out with Lana in her corner against Liv Morgan. So much blonde. Yet this is the McMahon-Pritchard era. Morgan tapped in about a minute to the sharpshooter. After an excellent promo from Edge about how Randy Orton punting his best friend Christian in the head has awoken evil in the rated R superstar, Orton told Charlie Caruso he can't be blamed, it's Edge and Christian's fault for backing him into a corner, and then later came out for a terrific promo segment with his against overwhelming medical advice new manager, Ric Flair. They were interrupted by the star of the Big Show, Big Show, to whom Randy said he respects, but his eyes narrowed when he called him a legend, like a voice just spoke up in his head. Randy and Flair backed off, hinting Orton versus Show could happen at Extreme Rules. The women's tag team titles were on the line next for
Championship Monday!
with Sasha Banks and Bayley defending against the Iconics. The champs worked babyface as the Iconics isolated Bayley until Sasha fought them both off to win by herself. It was another short match that never got a chance to breathe. The post-match angle was really good though, where Sasha teased challenging Bayley for a championship shot, but called out Asuka instead. Asuka then came out to get beaten up loads. She is not being booked well. MVP formally offered Apollo Crews his services next, excellently pointing out his own historically long US title reign, and using Apollo's heel tactics to win last week against him. I really hope this is a slow build for Crews' eventual heel turn and alignment with Lashley and MVP. For now though, he just beat Shelton Benjamin easily in a minute to be attacked by Bobby after. And for the main event, Rey Mysterio returned to Raw to have a conversation with Dominic in the ring that they could have definitely had privately at home, where Rey begged Dominic to calm down, but Dominic challenged Seth Rollins to a fight instead. Rollins said fate has already made his decision for him, and Murphy and Theory came down to do his dirty work when babyfaces Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo ran down for the save. They tried to take out Seth's eye, classic babyface move, for the heels to get the upper hand and try it on Dominic while Rey watched. Thankfully, the babyfaces ran them off to stand tall at the end in what was a really good angle. That was this week's Raw in about 5 minutes. Let me know what you thought of the show in the comments down below. below, where I'll be replying to people from out of the Big Show, Big Show, Big Show. This was a frantic, fast-paced, jam-packed show, and it did zip along quite nicely as a superficial watch. Sadly, there was little deeper connection, with the in-ring wrestling never allowed to go beyond 10 minutes, and an over-reliance on rush title matches. This week's Raw is average. I must say a huge thank you to everyone who commented on yesterday's WrestleTalk news video with your suggestions on how the wrestling industry, its community, and our channel can improve. There were loads of good ideas that I'm going to steal without credit, and also a lot of very sincere, heartfelt stories. And I'm incredibly grateful for you all being so open about your feelings right now. It's been an incredibly tough few days for the industry. I personally have never felt so affected by something from the wrestling business, and I know many of you feel the same way. But reading all your comments, it's made me hopeful again, and I thank you for that. I'm very proud to announce that from this week, the Friday episode of the WrestleTalk podcast will have a different co-host with Luke to get more diverses on this channel. I'm sure you all understand there will be no Quizzlemania this Wednesday. Adam Blompier is taking some time off, and his mental health is of the utmost importance to me and the WrestleTalk team. To reiterate what I said on Friday's news episode, as some might have missed it, in the last 2.5 years, Adam has gone through great lengths to learn from his experiences and has changed himself for the better. And all of us here at WrestleTalk believe fully in the person he is today. Has The Undertaker retired? Click the video on the right to find out, and watch my Saturday WrestleTalk news video by clicking on the video below that, which has developments on the Speaking Out movement as they were happening. If you like our coverage, please do follow us at WrestleTalk_TV on Twitter and me at Ollie Davis. That was wrestling.